But I will tell you some of the things that we loved. So if you have ridden a lowrider, we wanted to take a minute to thank our friends at thebikerlawyers.com. If you're ever in an accident in Iowa or Minnesota, make sure to call and ride the recovery road with the Biker Lawyers. Hi guys, if you're new, I'm Meg and this is my motorcycle journey. It is a moto vlog that follows me on two wheels. Cameraman comes along with me for most of this vlog. I have ridden my Harley Davidson Lowrider S and Cameraman has ridden his Harley Davidson Breakout. We just recently purchased a Transalp. If you haven't already, it would mean so much to Michael and I if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can continue to follow us on our two-wheeled adventures. This is our initial review of the 2024 Honda Transalp. It, as many of you may or may not know, was a bike that Honda previously sold in the United States. They stopped selling it in the United States and then they just recently brought it back. So we were looking at a bunch of different adventure bikes over the last couple of videos and had the big reveal to let you know what we settled on in the last video. This video is our initial thoughts after we've ridden it a couple hundred miles. Michael and I have each ridden it ourselves a good amount, and then we've ridden it two up, and we will have some video footage about all the different types of performance over the next couple of videos. But hopefully, if you came here looking to see what we think about our brand new bike, this video will deliver. All right, guys, it is like freezing. It's snowing, so like, you know,
flurrying.
30 degrees, 30, right? It's gonna be 32, right?
It's pretty cold.
But we have had a couple of warm days here in the like high 50s. So we wanted to get out on our new baby Shira as much as we could. And we wanted to give you guys an update. There you go. That mod one. Michael wants to get rid of the reflectors. We wanted to give you guys a little update on our initial thoughts, our initial review of the 2024 Honda Transalp. So a lot of people said they never heard of it, but that Honda's a really good and reliable product, and it was made in Europe, I believe, for a while. They used to sell it in the United States, then only sold it internationally, overseas, not here, and then brought it back out. But I will tell you some of the things that we loved. So if you have ridden a Lowrider S, or if you have a Lowrider S, you will understand what I'm talking about. The rear brake on the Lowrider S is not my favorite feature of the bike.
No.
I love my Lowrider S, but that particular feature is not great. It has made a world of difference in my riding to have really great brakes.
It's pretty important to have brakes, right?
It is, but truly having like both the rear and the front brake on this bike, I think are fantastic.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that's any Harley. I mean, Harleys just don't stop the way.
I mean, but on this bike, they're great. Right?
Amazing.
It changes the way you ride. Okay, so that was one thing that I think has been huge.
The windshield's awesome.
So, Michael, you've never rode with a windshield. Do you like?
I think it's. I can. I mean, it's not even that big, right? But it definitely. And I'm about 6 foot tall, and it
definitely
it helps.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, and I've seen that they have like these guards that you can like adapter pieces on it and stuff,
put on it
and make it bigger. But I don't think you need to do anything to it.
Well, it's way different from never having.
Right.
For me also, the other thing with my Lowrider S, and that's probably just that I've ridden it 60,000 miles, is on stock suspension. My suspension is not in the best place after our cross-country trip. I feel like it was fine when I first got the bike, right?
Yeah.
We just abused it.
Yeah, it's just...
The suspension on this thing is amazing. Like, I am not used to not feeling any of the bumps. The ride is so smooth. It's awesome.
And it's capable off-road, you know.
That's also true.
What else we got?
I had a number of folks that have asked me about whether we are still selling calendars or they are sold out. We are still selling them. The only thing that has ended is pre-sale. Pre-sale finished up on December 1st, and we spent the last couple of days personalizing and began shipping out orders in the order in which they were received. If you're still interested, head over to our website, which is www.megsmotorcyclejourney.net, and you can go ahead and order. I will also put a link in the description of this video. We have some other cool cold weather merch. We've got a blanket, a fleece blanket, and a beanie, and we have hats. So if you're interested, head on over and check it out, and it would help Michael and I continue on our two-wheeled journey and bring you guys along with us. Okay, back to the Transalp. So a lot of you had written me that you thought I was going to get the Tiger Low, and I understand why, and I'm not going to lie, it was very nice to be able to touch on both sides on an adventure bike. I had not experienced that before, but this bike does have a lower seat height than a lot of the other comparable bikes, and that made it a good candidate for Michael and I to both be able to ride. It is a bit of an adjustment with how high it is, but I have every confidence that I'm going to be very comfortable in the near future. Y'all, it's too cold out there for us to tape comfortably, so we decided to come inside in the truck.
Use a brain.
That's right, for the
we don't have a lot of degrees up in here, for no reason. Because
you already saw the bike. So. Gas mileage, I feel like, has been great. Do you think?
It has been great. I'd say the one thing I would say is, being that we are on the 750, when it's two of us on there, we probably are burning up more fuel.
Oh, that's true.
Than we would riding two up on the Harley, but we haven't ridden it long enough.
That's true.
To determine that.
What about two-up riding? What's your opinion?
Two-up riding is great. I mean, I've never had a passenger on a bike with great suspension.
Well, do you feel like that makes a difference?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I mean, even just like being at a stoplight, the one thing I'll say is I'm on my balls of my feet when I'm by myself.
Does that make it harder?
Yeah, it definitely makes it. I have less leverage.
Yeah, right? The same way for me on every bike.
On every bike you ever get on. Right. But like with you on the back, because you're 315 pounds, it weighs the bike down, so I'm flat-footing it. So that is nice.
Okay, and people told us that it wasn't going to have enough power for us to ride two up. But I feel like that's not going to be an issue.
I mean, I went 0 to 100 or whatever in less than 6 seconds.
With me on the back or without? Yeah. When we did that long straight.
Yeah. It was pretty. I didn't time it, but I mean.
It had pickup. It went. So that another positive. Somebody did ask you about that in the comments, and I was like,
well, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say we rode two up at the end of the last video, but
right, but that's where I used the quick shifter, and I'll tell you, it's extremely smooth. I don't know how many people have ridden with it. I mean, I've been on a sport bike with it, but with this bike, I don't think I'm going to use it all the time. But if I'm trying to really get it, I think it's effective. So
do you think, because when we test rode that and we test rode the Yamaha and we didn't really need to test ride the Yamaha because we rode it for 5 days in Costa Rica, but when we test rode the Tiger, I felt like even regular shifting is smoother on this bike, and I was wondering if that's because of the quick shifter technology.
I don't think so.
That's just in my head.
Maybe. I mean, like I said, the quick shifters, because when you're shifting with the clutch, you're disengaging power, right? Yeah. But the quick shifter, I guess it's a whole different system, right? And people can rev, like Dennis rev matches his 10RA. So if he's going faster than 20-30 miles an hour, Dennis doesn't use his clutch ever.
Got it. Yeah. All right, guys, we done rearrange.
Yeah, my arm was tired. That's how you know you're getting old.
From holding itself.
You can't hold the phone up for 4 minutes, It sounds like you need to get back to the gym.
Seriously, it's heavy duty stuff. For 4 minutes? That's a long time.
Okay, let's get back to it.
Okay, so guys, neither of us have ever owned a bike, or even really, except for like very brief test rides, ridden a bike that has a bunch of different riding profiles.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So this has user mode, which lets
you can personalize that one between like your power, your ABS, what else is engine braking,
there's
traction
engine
control.
on it?
Yeah, so like I can adjust my engine braking on user mode, but then you got, like standard mode, which
that's like just regular riding mode.
But basically what it is, it's like having a tuner on your bike. Kind
like
of.
The FP3 that you like on the breakout.
Right, basically like anytime I adjust between like, sport mode, standard, rain, or gravel, it's just decelerating the throttle.
And there's other things too, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like that's kind of like having a tuner, which I really like because it's right on the bike. And I can set it up for me, right? Like on user mode, and then when you get on it, you can put it in sport or whatever you want. You can ride in user mode, but I don't want traction control on
I think we should customize user mode to you because you'd be more likely to ride it off road than me. Yeah. And then we can I'm probably good with standard or sport, depending. Sport if I'm on the road, right? And gravel if I'm not. I'd probably be fine.
I don't know if I would ever use any of those modes, to be honest with you, but we'll have to play with it.
But it's cool that it has them, because we've never had a bike that has that kind of technology. I mean, like I said, so Mike's Breakout has, and if you guys have never watched it, we have a video that we put out a couple years ago of all the mods that we've done to our Harleys. Yeah. And we talked about it, that he has a Manson Hines FP3 and he loves it because he is able to have all the different maps and adjust all of those things, for like when my fat ass rides with me.
It changes the whole game.
That he is like, for mountains and twisties and highways, like different modes.
I mean, if we're going straight for 1,000 miles, it's no sense to me.
Right.
Having the bike set up, then I'm, fuel efficiency and wear and tear on the bike, you don't need that.
Right. So it's sort of like that, but it's cool because it's right in front of you and you could do it
on
real
the fly,
time, right? That, which is nice. So we're excited to learn more about that. So we'll do this review video for you guys, and then after we've had an opportunity to really ride it and like go off road and maybe do some of these mods that we're about to talk about, then we'll do like an updated Honda 2024 review in actually 2024 probably. So then I think that's like the things that we kind of noticed off the top were like the things that we really liked about it so far, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing that we didn't like is that Mike really doesn't like the thing on the back that holds the license plate.
Oh, that is hideous.
But that's just like a look preference, right?
I guess so. I mean, to me,
Michael likes his bikes to look beautiful. He likes...
Well, I just don't need unnecessary garbage on the motorcycle. I'm just saying, like it's garbage. It's got to go. The license plate holder, I've seen there's eliminators out. I already looked at them. We just have to decide that. And like I said, the reflectors, they got to go.
Okay, so I guess it's sort of a mod. I don't know if you call that a mod, really.
I don't know.
But that's one thing. We've talked about a bunch of other mods because people have already been asking us what we want to do to mod it. So the very first thing we're going to do, except for maybe that, is a skid plate, because everybody says
the location of the oil pan and everything is pretty low, and it's right under. They say it's like not a good location for it, but I don't know how else Harley could have done it. Either way,
Honda.
That's what I meant. See, I've had a Harley my whole life. It's going to be tough saying Honda, but a skid plate on it has to happen. And then if we're going to ride it off road, we got to do
like engine guards or crash bars, right?
Because the bike's going to go down.
Yeah, and that's why we got it, right? I mean, we got it to be able to do this kind of thing, so it might as well be equipped to do it. So we're not paying a lot of money fixing it.
No sense having a Ferrari with a Prius engine in it. Right?
Okay. Also bags.
Bags, yeah.
So eventually, definitely hard bags. Maybe we'll see.
I'm excited to tour on it. I think it would be a good bike to tour on.
Like position-wise, what do you think about that?
I mean, no matter what, I'm going to miss the sound of the Harley on the tour. Mm-hmm. But I think that my ears might be happy that we're not.
It's not so loud. Well, yours is the loudest bike of anyone I know, so it's like, that sounds good. I mean, there's like people that take out baffles on it.
That don't sound good.
The hard bags eventually, right?
Yeah.
But like now, maybe I'll see if Saddleman has like soft bags or something.
And then probably hand guards, right?
Yeah.
Which they call them something busters, or I forgot the name of them.
We talked to Memphis Sheets about that.
We could check it out.
I know they have them for Harleys. I haven't looked at any of their stuff for other stuff yet. Oh, mirrors. You hate the mirrors. You want the mirrors to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use my mirrors that much. I mean...
Okay, we're not getting rid of mirrors, in case y'all were wondering. Even if he would like to get rid of the mirrors, I'm not going to get rid of the mirrors. But maybe those end ones that go, like, on the
problem with those is that when they go... Okay.
Oh, what was the problem? Tell me.
They'll break every time you fall over.
Okay. Well, is there another option besides what we've got?
I wonder if they got bendable ones out there.
Okay.
We'll have to check them out.
Okay. If you guys have good ideas look over your shoulder about it, I like to have a mirror, and we have to legally have one. We don't do legal things on this channel. Anyway, I'm an officer of the court. So.
Me too.
Mirrors. Michael hates them because he really doesn't. Right. He doesn't like any of that. Even on Harleys, where like the style with them, like, you know, up here, his aren't like that.
Right. I like them under.
Yeah. And also, you have these little tiny ones.
That's all you need.
I think that's all for now, like planned. Like, I feel like we're good with stock brakes. We're good with stock suspension for now. We're learning all of that stuff. Actually, you read, guys, he's done so much more than I have when it comes to research on this bike. He's like really good at about that, and I am not so much. Like, I definitely researched like the top 10 best adventure bikes. Like, I would go out and be like the best adventure bike, and then you like get all these lists of like the top 10 adventure bikes, right? But then, and I'll like read the specs and stuff. But then
I watch the videos and call the bullshit on the ones who are just getting paid by companies to say things. Versus Michael, like what actually works and doesn't work.
Is a YouTube fan himself, and he likes to watch all sorts of moto content on YouTube. So he always does a lot of research in that way for me, which is really helpful, because he'll go. So when we went to check out the Transalp, like, I had read the specs, but he'd already watched 3 or 4 review videos. Now a lot of them were on the European version,
the 2023 model,
right? So this is a little different, but you knew enough that you knew to ask the right questions, right, I would say. So anyway, that's our initial thoughts, I think, and we also might have some fun doing a video with Dennis and his Tenere.
If he agrees to it.
Yeah, we haven't ran that by him.
All right. Probably call him now.
We should. All right, guys. Thanks. Talk to you next time.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that and learned a little something about the 2024 Honda Transalp. If you were interested in possibly picking one up yourself, we would highly recommend it. I have another Transalp video coming up sometime in the near future that pairs the Transalp next to another popular adventure bike, and you'll hear from Michael and some other folks. So if you're interested in that type of content, keep your eyes out for that. We are very excited because we have some other exciting things planned for the new year, and we are still working out our schedule for next year as far as bike weeks and moto travel. But we will certainly let you guys know. I've had a lot of folks tell me they're interested in tours. I promise you that we're working very hard in the off season to make sure that we can be doing some awesome stuff with you guys in the new year. So thank you for your continued support, and look out for important upcoming announcements. Until next time, guys, thank you and ride safe.